Hello and welcome to a new video about the Carport project, in which I want to show you this time how I set the foundations, that post anchor and the piping for my carport. After the retaining wall was set, I initially began at the marked locations. Excavate the foundation points with the excavator to a depth of approximately 1 meter with a width of 40 x 40 meters to set my foundations there. Set up the carport to later provide it with electricity and wastewater if necessary. I also dug a trench for the utility lines at the same time, in which the utility lines will later be laid and necessary adjustments will be made. Next, I installed earth anchors at the locations where later the post anchors are to be positioned. The dimensions are exact in the construction plan. Specified to the centimeter here, it is important to work at right angles. I have used aids here, and Pythagoras helps with that. Certainly also gladly continue to find exactly the right positions to arrange the post anchors exactly in alignment later on, and of course, to ensure everything is level, I have stretched helper strings that are exactly in line, are drawn at a right angle, are leveled, and underneath these I initially set the KG pipes and later firmly concreted the KG pipes, were precisely aligned with the level, centered under the string, and, of course, absolutely vertical in all directions, so that later the settling of the post anchors. The anchor will be so much easier afterwards. I then gradually added concrete. Screed was applied around the pipes, compacted, and thus the whole thing was really made with a strong, stable foundation provided. I carefully applied this method at all 4 foundation points, and let it cure for a good week before proceeding to the next steps. The installation of the actual post anchors into the KG pipes went as the supporting posts of I have these carports that should protrude 5 cementos above the ground, already marked on the post anchors to facilitate the installation can be done at the correct height. At the same time, I also have the center marked to set my guideline there, and the post anchors to be installed aligned and centered along the entire line. According to my marking, I then inserted the post anchors into the KG pipes, inserted these along my guideline, aligned and leveled, and then finished with concrete screed. Filled in to stiffen the whole structure and allowed to dry again. During the drying phase, I then installed the utility supply underground. That means a water pipe, the empty pipes for my electrical cables, and for, later on, a large empty pipe for a solar system on the carport. Install and the necessary utility cables directly in this. To lay empty pipes, the trench was then filled with sand. Neatly refilled and then covered with soil and frost protection, filled up to the top edge and consistently well compacted throughout. Compacting is also the keyword that I regularly use with my plate compactor. I have continued to compact the ground further. It is similar to the others. Videos have already mentioned a clay soil that becomes unstable upon contact with water. Very muddy and soft becomes, and before I wanted to apply the frost protection, I compacted the ground very thoroughly and carefully, first with sand, blunted to prevent that the frost protection in the ground is sufficiently compacted or vibrated. I laid a very large, massive fleece flat on the ground, anchored, and then had the frost protection safely delivered to me. Then over the entire area, initially to a height of about 10 to 20 centimeters, I then carefully distributed this frost protection with the vibrating plate. The area was leveled and compacted so that a vehicle can drive on it without any issues, can leave no ruts behind, and currently the preparations for the carport construction are already completed. Now only the final touches are missing. The delivery and a few strong and necessary helpers to set up the carport.